Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here on a Saturday morning. Get yourself ready. Bitcoin sideways. What's up? Let's find out. I just opened up a trade. I wasn't even going to give it to anybody because I thought we had a second. Hold on 1 second. This is crazy. I put a new suit on. I couldn't even. There we go. Get that off. Get that off. Babe, can you cut this one off here? I can do it by myself. I don't need nobody, man. I'm sick of waiting for nobody. Most independent guy you ever met. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Got the shark skin. Sweet. Oh, no pocket square today. I forgot the pocket square. Babe, grab a pocket square. Something that looks nice, babe. Baby. Pocket square. Something that looks nice. Man, so the price action just went crazy. I own up a long right now. As the stream started, I was like, I'll get in now. I was like, I don't think it's going to pump right now, right? It's going to get tight. Next thing you know, it went up huge, and I was up about $300. Look at this. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for, like, to make my whole portfolio today, just for some gains. You know what I mean? I'll take that. I don't know what that was. Oh, my gosh, I don't even have the screen on. Shout out to everybody here on the live. So let me break down what just happened. So I'm watching Bitcoin, and I see it's in a shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. That's an inverted head and shoulder with a measured move to the upside, the length of the neck to the head. And that tells you that's exactly where you're going, right? And so I get in there thinking it's going to go sideways. It's slow weekend trading. And then I'm going to start the stream, and I'm going to give everyone a chance to get in. I'm going to say, hey, everyone, I just made this entry. Because I made the entry during the countdown. Just white? Really? That's all you got? That's all you got over here, huh? White? Huh? Yeah. Well, you have to kind of like get in here a little bit. How do you do that? You know what I mean? You can just kind of shove it, but it doesn't work. You got to like rip open the pocket. How do you open pocket squares? Oh, you just rip them. Brand new coats, man. The pocket square ain't open yet. You got to break through the hymen there. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Sorry, that wasn't right. Might get a little inappropriate. Shout out to everybody here on the live. That's what it felt like. I mean, I don't know what it feels like. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate you all for being here. It's so wrong. My wife just walked out the room. I'm such an idiot, guys. Don't do what I do as a man, okay? Do what I do as a trader, not as a man, all right? I push the limits all the time. Shout out to everybody here on the live. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you so much. And I was telling everyone, Black Friday, best time to buy suit jackets. They're like $400 or $500. You get them for $100. $500 suit jackets, $114. So I always get 2 or 3 every single Black Friday because why not? I like wearing them. Why am I going to pay overpriced for them? Why overpay? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it's a little trick, man. If you want to look nice, careful with that cut. I know, right? It might just cut right through the suit. Hey, but that's the action you guys are looking for, right? That's the action on the live, baby. Nick Graham. I never wore Nick Graham shirts. I like these. 100% cotton. These are nice, dude. Nick Graham. Check them out. Nick Graham suits. So I just took profits of the trade. I had no idea what was really going on here. Excited that I'm still in these bigger longs. Let's break down the movement. But this is crazy. Like, that was crazy. I can't believe I just caught that. I just made $300 in literally under 5 minutes. Pretty awesome. And it looks like there may be more. I mean, you're above. Again, that was my signal. That's why I took it. I said, you're above the 200, touching the 21. And you're in a beautiful inverted head and shoulder, Sam. What is a complex inverted head and shoulder? Let's answer your questions. Let's provide value. Every single day I provide value, everybody. Who am I? My name's Samuel James Price. I've been trading for I started trading when I was 22, 23 years old. I'd say 19 years. 20 years you could say. I'm now 42 years old. Headed on 43 in April, which is crazy. I'm almost back. I'm almost another year. Like, I'll be 50 before I know it, which I can't believe. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. Let's not talk about it over here. But, yeah, and never wore the suit jacket on the live, baby. Shark skin, man. I never had a sheen shark skin kind of vibe, I'm loving it. I pulled these out. They don't look too good there. I don't know why they do all that. What's up with all that stuff? I mean, like, look, this is $395. Kenneth Cole, right? I didn't pay no $395. I pay $100, $114. Black Friday, baby. I ain't paying no $400 suit for why? I could afford it, but why? Why overpay if you don't have to, man? So I really, what I do is around November, because this is what happened to me. 4 or 5 years ago, I saw things I wanted. I bought them randomly. Then I saw them on Black Friday for half the price, and I got pissed at myself, and I did the math. I said, man, I would have saved so much money. So now what I do around September, I start asking or actually throughout the year, if I really want something, I say, hey, man, be disciplined about it and wait. You have to wait 8 months. Like if I want something, let's just say I want something in March or April. I really want it, unless it has to happen and it's part of the business or something. Like if it's just a desire, like a thought, hey, you got to wait till Black Friday next year. Because why overpay for things, man? So I put a collection of things, and I spent a little bit more money, I guess, on that day because I put a collection of things that I'm willing to get, that I'm looking at, and I go for them on that day. Like the Lambo, about the Lambo on Black Friday. No, no, just age is only a number, Sam. Life is what you make of it. I love you, man. Just made 50 of those years, Sam. God bless you, brother. God bless you, man. All right, so I like what we're seeing here. I like the movement. I took profits quickly. I did not know that was going to happen. I couldn't believe it. I brought my wife in the room. I said, babe, I just opened this trade and it just went to 90,200 out of nowhere. But again, it was a complex inverted head and shoulder. I was just about to teach you what that is. And if you go here to this beautiful path tool, you can go one shoulder, two shoulder, a head, a right shoulder. And let's make that yellow, right? Why have I allowed that to be blue for so long? Hit the settings, turn that puppy. I like my yellows. I like my yellows. Oh, I just think you don't want to do that. I turned it. There you go. I made it a dotted line there. She's a bit of a dotted line there. So there's an inverted, complex inverted. Complex means you have two left and two right shoulders. You'll see. This happens many, many times. I probably should have stayed in the trade. I mean, this tells you you're going to pump, but I'm into just kind of taking gains. Taking names and kicking butt every single day. All right. Let's do our top-down analysis for BTC. Let's break it down. Let's have some fun. That suit looks like fresh, well spent. Thank you. Yeah, Kenneth Cole. Like, I don't have to buy the best. You know what I mean? You don't have to, look nice. You don't gotta see like this. You could, for $200, you could look nice on Black Friday. People always think they gotta spend so much money to look nice. Just look nice. Just present yourself properly. My dad always said that, man. My dad said to me, he said, Sam, you'll look better in a $300 suit than some guy in the $3,000 suit. It's about how you look, how you present yourself, how you fit too. You gotta be fit. When you're fit, you look better. When you look fit in your clothes, you look better in your, you look amazing. A guy that looks fit in his clothes can wear, doesn't have to wear expensive clothes to look better than a fat guy who's in the most expensive suit in the game. You know what I mean? So I turned 50 in 7 months. Can't believe it. That's amazing. Yeah. The CFTC approved the trading of spot crypto instead of futures contracts on CME and similar exchanges. That's a big deal. Puts more pressure on spot leverage instead of futures. And that actually could create some more liquidity for BTC. So let's take a look at what happened to Bitcoin. We were kind of we were teetering. We still are somewhat teetering on a bear flag on the 1 hour time frame. We're going to break that down. We're not going to run away from the bearish facts here. I'm not an overly bullish guy or overly bearish. I'm just going to look at the charts and see if we can find our way to snuggle on in. Just like this morning, I saw a signal. I took it. I was able to make, 285 in about a couple minutes. So, right. 39 in 4 months. Wow, amazing. Shout out to all the beautiful people that are still living healthy, living their lives, looking forward to their next birthday, knowing that their next year is going to be better than their last year. Because when you take care of yourself, next year is going to be better than last year. God, we don't know what God's going to throw at us. We don't know what's going to come our way. We don't know what's going to happen in our lives. But what we do know is if we take care of ourselves, hopefully next year will be better than the last, right? It will be healthier, funner. We'll do more. We'll see more. We'll touch more. We'll explore more, right? And that's the key. That's the hope. So the monthly candle, I want to see this thing close to either bottom. It was green and looking beautiful just a few days ago, and it went back to red again. That closes red, that's bearish. I don't see how it doesn't come test 82,000. It closes green, we can start talking about $102,000, $109,000. All right. Yeah, Luna C is taking off like a rocket. People have been saying that. It's crazy. Terra Classic, right? So insane. It's funny, I don't see it on spot, but they definitely have it. I see it on MEXC Perpetual. Oh no, USDC. They have it for USDC for whatever reason. What is going on? Like, why? I never understood this stuff. Like,
Like in the midst of nothing, Luna just ripping up 161% gains. It's also making a bit of a flag, but there's some bear div there. That's high risk. If you chase that, that's high risk. Some people are going to chase that, and that's, to me, it just, I don't know if it's the time to be trading altcoins. Just because one or two pumps out of nowhere gets people FOMO, they get wrecked. They run into this with high lev, and it gets, again, that looks like it could pump. I'll be honest. It looks parabolic. There's a lot of love in there. Wow. That's amazing. And am I pissed I didn't get into Luna C for 161? No, I mean, that was one coin out of 1,000 pumping when Bitcoin was in sketchy zones. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to kick myself for not buying that. You know what I mean? It's just, I think a lot of people do. Like, oh, every time, everything that pumped, they beat themselves up. I got over that a long time ago. Think about it. After 20 years, if you beat yourself up about every coin you didn't get into, oh my gosh, that's going to be crazy. Think about how much turmoil you'd cause in your own brain. See, what I like about it is the mistakes I made in my first 4 years, they make sense in the first 4 years. But after 20 years, you're like, man, you can't keep doing that. Like, you can't beat yourself up about everything. Yeah. Sam, tell us what button you pressed to pump the market like that. Crazy. I have no idea how I did that. It seems to pump every time I touch the market. I show up on the live, Bitcoin goes crazy. It's like I swear there's whales out there, they watch my channel and they're like, you know what? Pump it for Sammy. He's done so much for Bitcoin. I've done a lot for Bitcoin. Think about it. I've gone live every day for thousands of days of my life, whether I got paid or not, whether I made a business of it or not. My dedication is true. Like, you could say whatever you want. Like, money obviously doesn't run me because I've obviously made enough money to take a day off, and I don't take a day off. So that means that money does not mean everything to me. What means everything to me is my work ethic, my grind, and my connection to my community. And if we can create that, keep pushing that, and we can help others learn how to trade the proper way. Happy 7th birthday, Nini. Love, Dad. Thank you, Sam. Wow, that's so cool, man. Happy birthday, Nini. Nine-Eye, right? Nine-Eye, right? Yeah, Nine-Eye. Happy birthday, Nine-Eye. Love, Daddy. We love you. God bless you. Thank you so much. Reliable J is always there, holding it down. All right. Luna Classic looks like it could take off. If Bitcoin goes well here and holds some key levels, the whole market will start to kind of, is this the beginning of a alt season? As funny as it is, it could be. You know what I mean? It's crazy as we all talk. You just never know. You just never know. That's how fire, brother. Yeah. Texas bought 5 million. Yeah, 5 million of Bitcoin, and they bought 5 million of the IBIT. So they bought 5 million in IBIT shares and 5 million of custody Bitcoin. They bought 10 million is what I looked at. They doubled down. So let's get into Bitcoin. There may be some more moves here playing out as we speak. And I traded live on Weeks. Go to weeks.com to trade live. Look at my returns here. Actually, look at my auto earn. Let's see what auto earned today. Yesterday's returns. Look, I made $5 on auto earn. I mean, it's pretty awesome, right? Hey, just keep it coming. I'll keep auto earning. So 279 is what we took in that trade. 6666666. Ooh, crazy. And again, I took profits on the wick as it was getting crazy. You don't know what's going to happen, especially a move like that on a weekend. Very unsustainable. I did, my model says stay in the trade, but unsustainable on a Saturday. On a Saturday, if on a Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm gonna ride that puppy all the way to up here somewhere. You know what I mean? We're gonna get the volatility, but on a Saturday, no way. No. Okay. Checked in. We reset. We got the live trade. Oh yeah, we're back on the monthly chart. So let's go over to the 5-day, which looked okay, but could be making a bear flag. Let's be honest. Like, that's looking very flag-like. Don't be surprised when we make a bear flag and take a tumble. Everyone wants this to be a reversal. It has to be. I don't know what it doesn't have to be anything to me. If it goes down, I'll short it. If it goes up, I'll pump. We'll run it. I don't care what it does. I believe in the long term, Bitcoin will go up in value because they print money. So we don't have to stress. Like, they've been printing money for hundreds of years. Every single government has done it. I backtested it. You know what I mean? I've seen it. I don't care what nationality. I don't care. Every time we put a human being in power and we have access to the Federal Reserve, that human being will print money. It doesn't care if they're Mongolian. It doesn't care if they're Chinese, if they're Spanish, white, Jewish. It doesn't matter. They will print money from the Federal Reserve. We've seen it. It doesn't matter the human. It gets done. So this could be making a bear flag. That target would take you to 57,000. I'm not saying that's guaranteed to happen. There's some prerequisites there. As long as the 3-day stays above the 200 moving average, I stay bullish. I have a long right now with a stop loss below this wick here, and I'm still in the trade. And we'll see what happens when it comes out. I mean, it's not pretty, but hey, we'll see what happens. I could make like 50, 60K. We get up into this area. So man, they're doing everything they can to keep me from that trade. So this could be a bear flag too, though, as well. It looks like it's a bear flag. I mean, very bearish. I have to be honest. The daily finally kind of got a grip here. So let's take a look at what's happening to the daily. Remember, we talked about this being a bit of a flag on the daily. Could we come all the way back down? But there was some support on the 4-hour time frame. We're going to break that down. We're going to talk about it. You really need right now the 15-minute through the 4-hour. They're giving us the most information. See, I don't know why, but time frames change which one is giving. Sometimes the 12-hour is giving you exactly what you need. Sometimes the 8-hour. Sometimes the 4-hour is confusing, but the daily is hot. I can't explain that, right? But I see this all the time. It's a reversal, 69% accuracy on this pattern, yeah. Texas buying is so long-term bullish, yeah. Oh, time is flying. Remember when you guys first started watching me? Who here started watching me? I was younger. I don't look the same. I've changed. Like, my life has changed. I moved to Florida. I bought my first home. I got my family settled. I bought my first Lambo. No, but seriously, like, I got everything kind of in position in the last few years so that I can really settle on big business now. You know? You can't really settle on big business till your family's put together, in my humble opinion. I got my family right where I need them. Everybody's happy. We're all settled for the next 10 years. We can raise these kids and just kind of have a good time. I'm happy. My wife's happy. And we're on our way. You know, and now it's about investments and opportunities and how we kind of raise the GDP of this country and keep moving. How we create opportunity and jobs for other people. What can I do with my business sense, my business prowess to help others? And that's the key. That's the next 20 years of my life, right? 42 to 62. Is what can I do with my business sense and savvy to help others? Trading as well, but also, you know, let's expand into entrepreneurship. So, I mean, that's a beautiful daily candle right there. If that can close like that, that's a tweezer bottom. I'll take it. You know, it's not amazing, but I'll take anything they give us, man. Nice little bounce there on the higher low. And then the 4-hour, really, look, the 4-hour had some resistance right here. You see, with a wick, and it came right back down to this area, kind of hanging out. Now, the 4-hour could be making a bear flag. And that's where the 1-hour kind of last night, to me, the fact that it got back above that one, you know, I was looking for it to bounce away from the one and just, I really saw this as a bear flag that was going to tear us down. But I knew last night probably nothing happens because there's no volume on Saturdays. So on Friday night. Friday night's the worst night to trade. You're attempting to trade Friday night. It's absolutely absurd. It's the worst. Oh, they got another one of these things here. Why do they do that, man? That's these nice suits, put all this stuff all over them. Anyway, so, wow. So look, the 1-hour is kind of overbought right now. Doesn't look amazing. Nice little pump. I'll give it to you. So 15-minute, broke out the flag, still somewhat sideways. You got above previous resistance, which is now support. I mean, I like what I'm seeing, but it's not amazing. It's just not amazing, right? I mean, you got the move. Now what? So now you'd have to kind of flag out what the 5-minute. So if we're bullish, the 5-minute will flag out. See how I sold that without thinking about it? Everyone else has so much fear. Every time it's pumping, they can't sell a green candle because all they do is think about the next green candle, so they're in fear. They're in fear. See, fear is the reason everybody loses. It's the 100% the reason why everyone's lost in the life. It's the reason why people are broke. Because once you believe in God fully, what are you afraid of? Death? What do you mean? You're going back to the Father. You're going back to the Creator. You're going back to the source. And if you've lived by the right, if you've heard the source and the source is connected to you and you've lived right by the source, what are you afraid to go back to it? Right? I've done right by people in my life. When I've seen a wallet on a table, I've seen a wallet, I've given it back. I've seen someone drop money, I've chased them down and handed it back to them. I've done it. I don't have to lie to you. I know who I am. I can't wait to go back to God and say, hey, man, I lived as much as I could. I'm not perfect. I'm sure I made mistakes. I'm sure I let some sin in there. I'm sure I let my bodily ways and my human ways, you know what I mean? I know I'm not perfect. I know I am of the flesh. But I've slowly separated myself into spirit as much as I could throughout this experience. I believe this experience is separating the physical from the spiritual. Accepting the fact that everything we have isn't this touch world. It's above that. It's a vibrational energy. Now, it's hard to say that because the material world is so touchy. It's so clean. We get a little depressed when we think of giving it up, don't you? What do you mean? I'm just going to be a spirit flying through the universe? I'm not going to be, because we're so used to being bogged down by physical. Once we lose the physical, we think we're going to lose that anchor. What do you mean? I'm not going to be anchored? Anchored to what? Where am I going to be anchored to if I'm not in my body? And these are a lot of questions you're going to have, but it's okay. The key is you're going to feel that there's an essence to you inside, right? Everybody knows there's an essence to you. You know you're not just human flesh and bones. You know there's something else in you that makes you you. Because when you ask yourself, who am I? You know you're something other than this. You just know it. I know it. I feel it in my heart and soul every day, right? So watch this 5-minute flag, man. We might get a crazy pump, but eventually this 21 is going to come back to the 5-minute time frame. Look, the 1 minute got above the 200. That was a catalyst for a pump to the upside. Again, I took this shoulder. You could see there was the 1 minute. A bunch of my strategies told you what to do. The 1 minute was above the 200. Sam tells you that's a long. The 1 minute touched the 21 above the 200. Sam tells you that's a long. The 5 minute hit cracked the 200, touched the 21. Sam tells you that's a long. The price was inside of a complex inverted head and shoulders. Sam tells you that's a long. Price was making the right shoulder right above the point of control. Sam tells you that's a long. The stochastics were low. Sam tells you that's a long. So like you could see my strategies were there's more than one of them. They were coupled up. There was what we call confluence. Confluence is combined influence. When a bunch of different strategies together tell you something's happening. The more you see the charts, the more you can put this together. The more you're going to be able to kind of map it out for yourself and do it with accuracy. You just got to put in the work, everybody. You just got to put in the work, and it clicks over time. I don't know when it happens. Your subconscious mind takes in a detail, and then one day you just go, oh my gosh. I see like today I saw that inverted head and shoulders so clearly. I took the trade. I was a bot. I didn't think clearly. I just did what it told me to do. I didn't have to think through I didn't sit there and spend a lot of time. And my mind already knows. 68% chance, 21 and 200. See, I've done all the math already. Now I just got to show up. I know what the odds are. I've done them for years now. See, that's what I benefit now. I benefit from not having to think like most people. A beginner has to sit there and really do a bunch of deductions and ask, and there's more emotions there. The more you think, the more your emotions, right? If you don't think, how can you have emotions? Like if you do something in a split second, like where do the emotions come in? They really can't because you're done. By the time you've had an emotion, you've already done it, So if you sit there and think about it over and over again, then the emotions creep in. Then you don't know. No, I don't know. Next thing you know, you're back and forth again, right? Playing that game. I'll tell you what, man, this looks pretty bullish to me. Looks like we're going to push up a little more, and we're not going to get this flag until a little more of a pump ski. Telling me to watch out here. Probably, and I sold early. I probably did. I probably would have made 5 to 1,000, but it's okay. That's okay. I was in denial of a complex head and shoulder because I was in a short. Isn't that funny when you see it and you tell yourself it's not going to happen because you want it to go your way because you're in emotions? But like the facts are the facts. Like that's what's going to happen, whether you want it to believe it or not. You know what I mean? I seen your old channel you posted on X, Sam. Big upgrade where you started from. Thank you. Glad I finally took the lifer class. It was game changing. No matter your experience. Yeah, I started in Queens. That video I shot in Queens in a 1-bedroom apartment. I lived in a 1-bedroom. I worked a night shift when you saw that video. I was making like 80 grand a year, maybe 90 grand a year. It was okay. My wife was home with the kid. We were surviving off my paycheck, living in a 1-bedroom apartment in Queens. I was buying my BTC. I was living below my means, buying as much Bitcoin as I could. I studied multimillionaires and billionaires. They said, get a paycheck that pays more than you can, like, for instance, I was making $800 a month. I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment. I started making $1,800 a month years later. I still lived in the 1-bedroom apartment. I didn't upgrade my living and start living in some $3,000 loft in Brooklyn to show everybody how cool I was, which I saw a lot of people do. Their living space had to be, kind of to show off who gives a damn. My dad had a van with holes in it. And he used to tell me that he liked to fly under the radar. Like, why have a nice car? Like, why make someone know you have money? Keep it on the low. Stay, the people that are able to kind of get me, right? I'm out there. Look at me. But I'm a finance guy on YouTube. It's a little different. It's hard for me not to let people know I got the breads. It's kind of what I do for a living. Like, if I'm broke, then like something ain't right. You know what I mean? I deal in finance and money. But, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. But it's tough for me because I don't mean to brag ever, but I also live in finance. Money is my tool. I play with money like people play with, construction equipment. I use money to make more money. That's what I do. Like, that's what I've been doing for 20 years. I started doing it until it made sense to me. I started playing around. I've been playing around with my money for a long time. Everyone else was, That's all when people tell me what to invest and how to invest. I'm like, I've thrown money around, man. I've got, money's like a frisbee to me, a ball to me. I've used it. I've grabbed it here. I put it there. I put it there. The more you use money, the more you understand how to use it. The more money flows around you. Understand? Every morning wake up and say, I'm destined for greatness. I'm destined for money. I'm destined for high energy. Money will follow high energy. If you're destined to high energy, you're going to be paid. So push yourself to be clean. Push yourself to live free. Push yourself to not go against, not do what someone else is telling you to do if you know it ain't right. Live your dreams. Live your soul. Live your narrative. Same. Every year I got a raise. I just pretended I never got it and invested it. I love it. Paid my house off in 15 years. Unbelievable. Unreal. See? It's probably a beautiful home too, man. Look at this thing. As I said, I see this continuing to pump. I'm just not going to jump in until I see consolidation on the 5-minute time frame. But every time Bitcoin gets away from 80K and back to 90,000, I'm a happy camper, man. Because 90K is the way to 100. 100 is the way to a new all-time high. And every little bit helps every step of the way. Thank you so much for a new subscriber. Thank you for jumping on in. Thomas 1507. God bless you. Appreciate you. Fantastic play. Raise lab token. Really? Sure. For you. And maybe your team. I don't even never know, right? Is Sammy Dummy in the Bear of Bears News? Long 100x? I saw Adam and Eve last night. It took a long. I was in denial of a complex head and shoulder. I was in a short. I love that you admitted that. You're pretty cool for doing that. You're like, I was in denial of what I knew was real. Like Sammy taught me and I decided not to listen. I've done that thousands of times. You know how many times I saw Head and Shoulder and said, no, this time will be different. I need a short now, or that Head and Shoulder ain't gonna dump on me. I'm just, you know what I mean? This is the night for me. Wow. I defied TA so many times till it told me either I was gonna go home with my tail between my legs or I was gonna learn technical analysis. It's very simple to me. You either fight TA until you can't fight it anymore. Either you get with the program or you don't. You know what I'm saying? Crazy simple stuff. Sammy, the pump is real. The Sammy pump is real. I mean, when I show up, it goes on. Shout out to Sonny Littletree holding us down. God bless you, Sonny. I love you, man. I love all these people, man. I see you all, guys. Bullish Bob, Moonshine, Christian Pineda, Jamal Antonio in the house. Jamal, I love you, brother. I love you, Jamal. That last line just hit facts, baby. I'm not good with money, to be honest with you, but I need to work on it. Been watching lots of Roan videos and just picked up Think and Grow Rich last night. Been studying your videos. You are good with money. See, you're not good with money because you tell yourself you're not good with money. You are what you tell yourself you are. I'm not good at money means you're not good at money 100%. If you tell yourself you're not good at money, then you're not going to be good with money. I'm great with money. Money follows me everywhere I go. I can't help but make money. I fall on money. I hang out with someone in a business. We start making a business together. We make money just hanging out. If you hang out with me, somehow money's going to come. I know money's going to flow around me because I got high energy, high frequency. No one tells me where to go and where to be. I flow where I want to flow. I create the narrative, right? We're kind of a big deal over here. I love you, Crypto Billy, man. You're the man, brother. Shout out to all my people out here on the live. Shout out to everyone kicking it with me. Shout out to everyone doing what we do. So let's see if we can get this 15-minute to flag out here and stay above 89,008. I love that. Let's get above. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Listen to your Jim Rohn affirmations today. Get yourself going. Listen to positive affirmations at night before you sleep. You're good with money. Money's going to flow to you. You've got this. I make money while I make money while money makes me money, baby. I love it. I love peoples like you who always got to give something to the world. I mean, in a world where nothing is free, I'm learning at least something every day coming here for free. That's the key, man. That's the key. I know when I can give you guys value. I know I've created value in my life, and I know through this channel I can produce value. God gave me the ability to create value. You can create something out of nothing because you're everything. It doesn't mean you're better than anybody else, but when you become the best version of yourself, you're going to help other people do the same. I was just saying the other day, let's just say we live in a small tribe. And one day I tell everyone I'm going to build the biggest, nicest house in the tribe. Not to be better than them, just, and they watch me for 4 or 5 years just grind and work and boom, boom. And next thing you know, I have the biggest parties. Everyone comes over and I have a big, beautiful home. Isn't that inspiring? What if I just had a little shack and I did nothing and I lived my life? What would be more inspiring to the whole, right? Wouldn't it be the guy and again, not to show how big you are and how much you have, but how hard you worked for what you do have and what can happen when you work hard. And so my channel is just an affirmation for people to see that if you go after what you love, I don't have any personal connections. My dad didn't know the head of YouTube. You know what I mean? Everyone says, oh, it's because you're white and privileged. I mean, I have blonde hair and blue eyes. Maybe it makes people like me more. I don't know. I'm not trying to. But what I will say is I don't care what color skin you were. Maybe the voice works. Having a good voice can help. That's all. But that can all be learned. You can learn how to talk. You can learn how to present yourself. Anyone can learn, work on these skills. I didn't just show up learning how to live stream, right? With a good voice and knowing how to connect to people, knowing how to sell my Discord like that. That took years. I perfected these skills over time. Okay. I was an actor for years in different movies. I did independent films. I've been doing voiceover work and stuff like that. And I've been around actors and I've been around the TV industry for basically since I was 17, 18 years old. So my whole life has been around this type of production. So that's why I was going to use it to change the YouTube crypto space, right? I felt like we got to do something different. And I got pants on. I don't do that no pants stuff, okay? I just want to let it be known. I could have no pants on. I could live stream 5 days a week with no pants, man. Proof of pants every single day on the stream. I ain't Kevin O'Leary. I love Kevin O'Leary. God bless him. I don't want to, you know what I mean? But I think that he did do a live stream where one day he zoomed out and he had like polka dot boxes on or something. And people think it's funny. It can be. And I get it. There's people that do, you know what I mean? You do your Zoom in an underwear because why? Why put on pants if you don't have to, I guess. But for me, my kids sometimes walk in the room. If they saw their dad wearing boxers and a suit, girls are funny, man. They're like, Daddy, put some pants on. You know what I mean? So, someone said, what movie can you see me in? Was I in The Departed? Like a very tiny role in The Departed? Like in the background? When we take our last breath, it won't matter how many Bitcoin we have or what we own. Everything stays here. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Yeah. Samuel Larry over here. Pants suck. Yeah, and the thing is, I could make a living with never wear pants. I'd have to go wear pants if I went to Singapore or Dubai or somewhere. So here's the deal, everyone. I like what we're seeing today for possible reversal. Bitcoin does look like it's going to make a move back up to this liquidity zone at 90,800. We just have to make a flag, and the 21 has to touch in the 5-minute time frame. If we can get the stochastics RSI to reset, the MACD to kind of look like it's going to flip, and this to go sideways, there's a chance we have another trade here today. But I wouldn't go too crazy. Yeah. And I kind of wanted to talk about, I wanted to put out a video about my BitBoy story, man. Because BitBoy in my life has such a big story. I tell you what, so this is crazy, but I'm just going to go on a quick, it's Saturday morning. I've given you everything I can for Bitcoin. We'll go over some altcoins in a second. But this is crazy. I just wanted to kind of go over it, right? So I moved to Florida. Okay, and when I moved to Florida, I originally got an email from somebody, and this person had watched me on ATB. ATB was called Around the Blockchain. And what they did is they went and they found people that were really into crypto, maybe analysts like me or had ideas, miners, and they put us together on a show, and they put 4 contestants together. And you'd have to answer questions, and the more witty your answer, and it was kind of competitive, yet kind of, And you could counteract somebody if they said something and you had a chance to talk, and then they'd direct questions. The host would kind of direct the questions around, and it was awesome. And at the end, you get some points, and if you won, you got to have the last little say. It was kind of like, that ESPN sports show that I remember. Forget the name of it now. So Ben and his team had something to do with starting that show. So a lot of people to this day say, hey, I first saw you on ATB. So Mario did see me on ATB, my buddy here. And then his wife ended up being my real estate agent that rented my house. Right? You know, I rented my first house, and then I bought my first house with her. Right? So through Ben, she got a beautiful, she got hooked up. In a way, it's kind of interesting when you think about it. But it's also like, so the other night we were all together. And then, his wife became a great help to my wife. Like, she loves my kids. She comes over and she plays with my kids. My kids love her. My baby cries for her all the time. Minnie, Minnie. So the other day we all sat together and we were having a nice night. And I said, if Ben didn't exist, if BitBoy didn't exist, I said none of us would be here together tonight. I wouldn't have rented the home I rented. I wouldn't have this person that loves my kids. And they take us out on boats all the time. We go boating together. We have a really good life with them. Like, they've enhanced my life. And I always say, like, if it wasn't for Ben, I never would have met them. What? Can you, I'm in the middle of a podcast, man. It's so strange to come in and do that. No respect, at all. It's so weird. Anyway, so if Ben, Around the Horn, that's what it was called. Yeah, see, Around the Horn. It was basically very similar, right? The show was very similar to Around the Blockchain in some ways. So, wow, that looks like it could break out, right now. See how tight it's getting? Seems like the 5 doesn't care. I want that touch on the 21, but we may not get it. It may just absolutely explode here. 3-minute looks very interesting, does it not? A lot of people will chase. And so, yeah. Hey, sweetie. Love you, baby. Thank you. All right, so here's the deal. Yeah, see, people come in. I'm honed in when I'm on live, and when someone comes in and even asks me a quick question, they basically brought me out of my performance mind into real life, and then I have to switch back into performance mind, and that's not fun. It's not easy. My subconscious mind is running it. It irritates me when people get me out of that, because I'm stuck in a zone, and I'm there for you guys. This is the value for the channel. So anyway, so without Ben, I never would have had all this stuff. You know what I mean? Enjoy the interruptions from family. We do it. It's a blessing. I know. If it wasn't for BitBoy, I wouldn't be here today. I wish him well and thank you. Yeah, so many people say that. See, if it wasn't, I watch you because of Ben. Look at this for sure. And so, and then a lot of people also get mad at me when I mention Ben and say, "How dare you? You're a godly man. You love your family. How can you condone that behavior?" And I don't condone any of that behavior. But I want Ben to know I love him. I will always, he comes up a lot in my life because my life has been great and he has somewhat affected it in a positive way. More than we realize. Before I thought it was ATB, but then I realized that the people in my life wouldn't even be in my life if it was for Ben, which is really mind-boggling to me. You know what I mean? I might not have bought the home I bought. I might have bought a different home, but I wouldn't have the real estate agent to find that home. So, yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to say God bless, man. And I wish him well. And I just hope he reconnects with his kids in the best way possible. No matter what happens with him and his ex-wife, I just hope he, that's all. But I just wanted to say thank you, dear Lord, for ATB. And thank you, dear Lord, for all the beautiful people that I met through Ben. And I wanted to say, I just wish people the best, bro. Yeah. But it's called the BitBoy Butterfly Effect. And honestly, I feel like it's worth telling. It's a story worth telling. Right. Some we're all connected. You just have to find the link. Amen. I love that. Ben led me to you, dude. Yeah, a lot of you people say that to this day. We're still going off that. Dang, man. It's just... Bitcoin gave me the push to trading. He was the one to show thought how to trade. I mean, yeah. What about the FT Bitcoin speculation? It makes sense. He was on the underground. He was always talking to people. He was in the upper echelons. Of course, he would have gotten his hands close or near somewhat of an idea of Bitcoin, but it doesn't mean anything. And they're going to use it as FUD, but I just would like, I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? I would look at scarcity. I wouldn't look at narrative. I would look at math. You know, they're going to try to write 100 narratives and stories to keep you off of Bitcoin, to get you to sell your Bitcoin. They got to come up with 100 ideas now. They got to do something, right? And the scarcer it gets, the more they're going to come up with these schemes, you know. A lot of blessings came from Bitcoin. He deserves a good life. We all do spread the love. Amen. Yeah. Yeah. Because of Ben, amen, amen. Yeah, I followed you on ATV myself, but to be a lifer was all you, brother. Thank you. He'll find his way, 100%. He already is. He's still doing his thing. You know, look, a double top there. That's not amazing. You see? So let's kind of zoom out here and get a look of the day. Wow, Luna Classic looks like it's going to continue. Like, look at it. It just peaked out. That's crazy. That's crazy to see. It's awesome, right? I mean, opportunity on a weekend. Pumped out funds up 8% in 24 hours. Virtuals is back up to 85, a little bit there. Let's see, in the last 24 hours, we have Meme Core, Bitcoin Cash. Really, if you think about it, Bitcoin Cash never really went down much. It was like one of the strongest coins in the game this whole entire time. A lot of coins that I sold, like, you know, never came back to where they were at, you know. I hold Chainlink. I hold big coins now. I'm done with the littles. And I mean, I hold a lot. If you looked at my stuff, you said, like, he holds hundreds of coins. But I attempted to downsize a bit. You know, Mitch Ray, I used to watch Mitch Ray. I couldn't believe my channel went, you know, past his channel. I just used to watch Mitch Ray all the time. Right? This guy's awesome, man. He was the first person I saw ever get a super chat. And the fact that I have 100,000 subs, I think he was on YouTube for years before me, man. You know? And he don't stop. He keeps going. He streams just like me, no days off, just keeps doing his thing. Right? And I saw him living a good life. I saw a beautiful, I said, man, that's a fun life. He's getting super chatted. He had the little things, you know, I had the cup, and I have to be honest, I took the cup idea from him. This cup right here, like, he was the first one I ever saw with the cup. So shout out to Mitch Ray, man. He put me on. I'm never gonna say he didn't. I looked him in the face and got, you know what's crazy is I looked up to this dude, right? And then one day I do the Vegas event. And he's there. I don't know he's gonna be there. You know, I met him in Miami at Bitcoin Miami on a rooftop a year prior, you know what I mean? Or 2 years prior, I think. You know, Bitcoin Nashville, I think we met. 8 months prior or something, right? And then, so he comes to, Bitcoin Nashville and then Bitcoin Vegas. So 10 months later, because one was July, one was like May, you know. He comes to my meetup, man, and I look at him and he's like, man, I'm proud of you, bro. He's like, I can't believe what you've done. Like, and he shakes my hand, and that was surreal for me. To see someone that I had watched online for years come up to me and shake my hand and say, hey, you know, look, he does $15 requests now on his super chats. He's so bougie. I love that, man. He got to get bougie with it, man, because he had so many people stressed in the channel, right? So I've met the people that I've looked up to. I've traveled the world, all from streaming every single day. So all I can tell you is find your passion, find your love, find something that you just can't stop doing. For me, it's streaming, it's teaching, it's playing with these charts. Look, I just made money this morning. I can't stop. And having a positive attitude is so important. Bitboy even said you were the best trader he ever met. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Sam, you hit that button again. I need a pump over here. I know, right? Hey, Willy Woo, send it up, baby. No, but look, that could be a beautiful inverted head and shoulder now. I felt we had to come back to that 200 moving average. Look for the inverted head and shoulder. Let's look for that. For the move to the upside here. Luna C continuing to punch. Wow, that's crazy. I can't jump in on that. I'd love to, but I just can't. I can't allow myself to be that DJ. Not now. I could be DJ when we have a lot of volume and we're more. I'd be far more speculative. but just not in this time. So the daily today has to close green. If it doesn't, we're in trouble. You know, this could be making a rising wedge that breaks to the downside. It could be attempting to make a move back up. We're in chop. I mean, we're in daily chop. You're making lower lows. You're below the 200 moving average on the daily. You'd have to assume we're going lower. You'd have to assume. The only thing that keeps me hopeful is this 3-day 200 moving average. We can just hang out. There's a chance. So they have us in limbo right now. They know that they have a bunch of people that are going to go long. They have a bunch of people that are going to go short. They got a bunch of liquidity on either side. They got people freaking out long, and they got, oh, but this is the one. I know it. No. This is the time now. They got everyone on either side. The key is we could wait for one side to punch, wait for the flag, and then take the flag. Wait for the flag, take the bear flag. We don't have to be where everyone is. My strategies let us watch price action and find our way in at the right time. Sam, is the range we are in part of the weekend trap? It could be, but that's so easy to say. That's so cliche. I could say that every day. The range we're in is part of the weekend trap. It's just like, it's such a word salad that sounds so sweet, but it doesn't even mean anything. You know what I mean? So for me, it's levels, level by level, one step at a time. Right here, you have previous resistance, which is now support. If you lose 88.6, you're dropping right back down to 84.8, and then we go from there. Like, that's just, you know, that'll be a move that'll take most of the day to do. That's probably the bigger move of the day. And then the 2 hour being above the 200 moving average is a bullish sign. So the 2 hour and the 3-day chart, if they both maintain above the 200, which is this yellow line here, we're going to be in some pretty good shape. If you're new to the channel, you don't know how to add the 200, go to CBC 5MA DRS and hit that by Deepak R. Sabu. Hit that. It's going to give you the 5 moving averages right here. The 21, the 50. Let me do it to a better place where it's in consecutive movement there. But the 21, the 50, the 80, the 100, and the 200. Those are the 5 simple moving averages in which I use. I use moving averages. Whatever you use a lot, your brain's going to pick up on. That's what I've learned. You need to have a steady focus of information so you can watch price action flow through that information. When price action flows through that information, you can pick up on a variance, right? Oh, this happens more than not. This doesn't, and so on and so forth. To me, this looks like a bear flag. I am, you're overbought on the stochastics. You're below the 200. This is my signal. You're touching the 21 on the other side of the 200. So, I have mixed signals because I have strong bearish signals and I have stronger bearish signals. I have some barely hopeful, weak bullish signals. But for the most part, it's bearish. So you got to watch your 5-minute today and make sure the 5-minute stays above the 21, flags out. Look, we gave all of it up. You got to sell spikes on the weekend. I mean, I sold that so fast. I don't trust any weekend moves ever. The fact that I made that gain at the beginning of the stream, I can't even believe that. It just shows that consistency is so amazing. I looked at my wife. I said, this is crazy. I never expected this to pump like this. I said, what are the odds this would happen? So to me, I feel like a short with a stop loss on the other side of the 1 hour 200 moving average has the most likely scenario to play out. Will I even short it? Maybe I don't take it myself. I don't like weekend trading too much. But to me, if I had to tell you what was likely going to happen, the 1 hour dumping back down to 86,000 is the most likely. If the 5-minute can flag out, stay above its 200 moving average, then you have a chance. But right now, it almost looks like we're kind of going right back in. We're just... So be careful trading today. The volume is low. The expectations are too high on either side. And you have too many people full of emotions that will probably get you wrecked because they're going to move the market in a nasty way. So I would be careful. I wouldn't trade at all. I will have to say that building a short on the 1 hour is the most likely scenario, even though today is not the best day to trade. So we'll see what happens. I'll be back tonight at 8 p.m. to go over kind of what went on in 8 hours from now. Let's see, 8 hours from now or 10 o'clock at 10 hours from now. At 8 o'clock at night, let's see where we're going to be. Oh, let me do my green box. I haven't done that in so long. Remember when I put a box and I show you where price should be. So at 20 is 8 o'clock. So that's 8 o'clock tonight right there. The old shift. Yeah, it's in 10 hours right there. See, in 10 hours at 8 o'clock tonight, where will Bitcoin be? I believe it will be sideways. So I'm going to put a green box where I believe Bitcoin is going to be. I believe we just go absolutely sideways. And we're right there. We're right here in this green box. We just kind of... Nothing happens. And we're right there. Maybe a little up. So that's my prediction for tonight. We'll come back. We'll come right to this chart when I start the stream, and we'll see where the green box is. And we'll have some fun. All right, and see if there's anything worth kind of jumping on into. There are some altcoins pumping today, but just be careful. Let's just take a gander at Ethereum and see if it's holding the zones. Yeah, it looks just like Bitcoin and the bear flag. I wanted to see it bounce there on the 4-hour time frame. It never did. That would have made a nice little flag. Now it could make a bigger flag, but man, it's a deep move down. So it has to do a ferocious move back up here or a bear flag continuing down. I mean, to me, that just the more I look at these, the more I see bear flags all around and that gap in the VRFP back to 2,800. So I don't know, man. It's sketchy business right now. It's hard to tell. All right. Be careful trading today. Watch your 5-minute flag. Watch your 1 minute, your 1 hour, and that's my best calls. We gave back everything we had. If you didn't take that trade quickly, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know we were going to spike, and I didn't know. I cannot pump Bitcoin. So as crazy as it seems that I got in right there and it pumped, and you saw me sell at the beginning of the stream, I had no idea that was going to happen. I'm just a lucky guy, I guess. I showed up at the right time. I did the right thing. I stayed consistent. That alone should let you know, keep moving, and good things will happen to you. Everyone, I love you. I appreciate you. I'll be back tonight at 8 p.m. Thank you so much for this awesome live stream. We banged out 9 to 10:10. And I love you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you tonight. The secret to success is getting started. Today, you got to start something that's going to change your life, set you off at a different path, and put you on your way. I did it. Look where I am now. I gave up the 9 to 5. I told my boss I'm done. I said I'm going to start my own thing and go my own way. And I'm going to live with the grace of God and finally put my faith in God. Like, you know, every time I went to quit my job, I said, but what will happen? And I said, well, do you think God is going to leave you astray? My faith in God really helped me entrepreneur, because once I put my faith in God, I said, of course my business is going to take off. God loves me. God's not going to want me in despair. Of course, God's going to help me. And if my business is positioned to help others and it has a positive affirmation behind it, which I know it does, then I know I have nothing to stress and God's going to help me. Have faith, everybody. Keep pushing. Believe in yourselves. This world is beautiful and special. It's waiting for the people that know that. I love you all. I'll see you tonight. God bless.